Okay, so do we want to wait for her to come in or should we just get started?
We could talk norms until she gets here, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think we've all just decided, like, obviously I'll be respectful and everything. Which I don't think any of us have a problem with that. So I don't know. Does anybody else have anything to say about the norms? Want to add anything?
I think we did
I like
last
the way
time.
we've been doing it.
I started
I
a
think we
time.
did better last time at like, I don't know, going back and forth instead of just like going from each question. So I think that was good.
We got great feedback too, and best team. So we're doing
I
something
know.
right?
Yeah.
True, true. Um, oh, I thought you had your hand raised. I was like, wait, what?
I forget that you can like do these things. So
I know they're so fun.
Did you guys get your Kneffin map done?
yes, yes.
Yeah, I
Turned
turned
it
mine
in.
in like an hour late because I thought it was 11:59, not 7 p.m. But it was the
I
same day.
I don't think she'll mind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I turned mine in this morning, so
Oh well,
it's
there you
okay.
go. Yeah,
Little behind.
I think it's still close enough because it said all work late work June 2nd. So
Yeah.
um,
And she still gives credit, even if it's like absolutely as late as it can be. It's like still like not a zero.
Yeah, some credit at least.
I did get needs I need to work on my brevity after my 7-minute video from last time. So I was definitely way too long.
She did specify it this time, though. She did say
I know, I
4 minutes,
saw
no longer than
I was
5.
like, I wonder who that's for.
that.
So that was
I'm sure
really
you're not the only one because that 2 minutes was hard.
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree. Even 3 is a little hard.
she said she'll be there in a minute.
okay,
So
Awesome.
perfect. And then
yeah,
Sierra,
they
do
were
you have the icebreaker this time?
I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry.
You gave me a heart attack for a
Oh,
second. I was like, oh, I'm about to come up with one right on the spot. I will do it. I literally will.
I couldn't remember anything and I didn't write it down, which is really bad of me. Usually I'm really good at it. I don't know what I was doing or what I was thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
I don't know where any of my notes are right now, so I'm just kind of here.
One of those
It's been a
weeks.
week.
it
Yeah.
has. It's been a few weeks. Like I'm so tired. I had 3 exams yesterday for ASL and I was just
Oh,
so annoyed because they all said midterm. And I was like, midterm was like 3 weeks ago. Like here we are
No.
Yeah.
thinking, oh, we
literally.
didn't have one, and now three?
Oh
It
gosh.
was so hard. And then it wasn't like I waited till the last day. Like our study group got pushed back, got pushed back, got pushed back. And I don't want to take an exam without like my study group, you know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
got it like late Saturday night. So like no matter what, I was stuck doing all of them Sunday, but oh, it was miserable. I like hated my life yesterday. So
Good job on doing it though.
Yeah, I'm glad you made it
thank
through.
I was gonna say
you.
at least they're done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were awful.
Yeah, I can totally relate on the tiredness. I literally fell asleep in one of the lounges today, and I woke up like 4 minutes before my class. And
Oh
I
no.
was running in, and I was fine. Like it was like the lounge was right outside my class, so I was like, I'm so sorry, but I made it. Yeah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Viv,
Hello.
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 Sierra, and everyone. It's so good to see you. Thanks for inviting me into your meeting.
Yeah,
Thanks for
totally.
coming. My unit is still not open, so I'm glad you came because this is better.
Oh, it's not the trust report's not open yet?
Mm-mm.
I thought I dragged it up. Let me check right now. Sorry, my glasses are not my computer glasses. I have to tilt them up to read my computer. Where is here? Courses, Com 420. Oh, you know what? I think I did it for the grad students. I'm sorry. I mistook you for a grad student, Ashley. You're just doing that well. Okay, so that means that I need to still put in the edits. So maybe I'll just do that really quick. But I can explain it to you too. I don't know which order. You guys decide. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Well, we saved our icebreaker for you because you really liked ours last week. So if you want to join in on it.
Okay. I'm up
Yeah.
for
So
that.
the icebreaker, this is one of my favorite icebreakers. So if you were going to give a TED Talk, what would your TED Talk be about?
Oh my God. You are in my mind. I think about that question all the time. And since most of you have seen my like hour-long videos, you know it's going to be a challenge for me to talk under 20 minutes. They probably put me in one of the side rooms and only give me 6 minutes. I think I would really talk about how conflict needs to not be adversarial and how we should be using conflict to find ways to have not just civil discourse, because I feel like civil discourse is also just about talking, but how do we listen to each other in a way, you've heard me talk about it. I don't have to go on, but that's what it would be about. It'd be about conflict as an opportunity for growth.
I would
We
listen.
need that TED Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
Oh, I dream my big dreams. And getting a documentary film Oscar, best documentary film, short film. I'm not going to do a full feature length. What was some of yours? Did you already go, everybody?
Nope, we haven't.
I answered first. Okay, I'll go now.
I will go. I love sharks. I've always loved sharks. They're my favorite animal, and I think it'd kind of be like advocating for sharks and like stop finning sharks and stuff like that. I'm sure there's probably a TED Talk similar to that out there, but that would definitely be my main thing because I just have such a love for sharks and I feel like they're misunderstood creatures. So that would kind of be my whole thing, I think.
Maybe you need your own show on Shark Week.
Right?
Every
I would
channel.
love that. I would love that.
There's definitely a market, I feel like.
Sharks with Sierra. It works. It works.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Yeah.
That'd be fun to watch.
Right, right.
I guess I could go. Hi, I'm Ashley. My TED Talk, I feel like I would do on marriage and not to like go super deep because I will cry because I'm a mess. But my husband and I have been through some of the hardest things that literally break marriages, and somehow we still enjoy each other. So it's something that we both feel passionate about. And right before COVID, we started like a marriage Bible study because we're military. So there's probably one person in our 25-year career that we've been stationed with that's still married that we've met, and we've met thousands of people. So it's just something that it hurts our heart to meet other couples and see them struggle. And it doesn't have to be hard. It can be enjoyable. You can like grow to love your partner, but it is work and not everyone's on board for that. And I don't want to get too preachy already, but
I love
that's
that.
probably what I would do.
That's awesome.
I feel like a lot of people could use that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people need to hear that for sure.
On a more lighthearted note, I would do mine probably on food. Just because like I think if you were to just make things at home from scratch, it's so much healthier for you. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. So I just think
Absolutely.
that would
Yeah,
be
that
a
would go
good topic.
viral for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm writing my thesis on how to avoid burnout as a student leader. So I would definitely like want to talk about burnout and like how even though the institutions advocate for us, they're also helping contribute to it. Just because I think that needs to be a light shed on that.
That's
Love
awesome.
how
I
they're
would
all
Look
definitely
at
really
love
you,
to.
hashtag facts.
they're all really super different too, which is cool.
Yeah, that's good. I love all your topics. I would listen to all of those TED Talks.
Me too.
All right, so let me talk about the Movie Report Trust, and then it'll go live probably during your meeting. Sorry, I did it for the other organizational communication class. I don't give you, it's for my grad students, and then I kind of do a version of it for you. It's not exactly the same, but so I thought it was, Ashley, you just did so well. I thought you were one of my grad students. Okay, so what you're gonna do is take that thin book of trust. Have you already, you're ready to go on that? You've been looking it over, hopefully. Yeah, this is a dream team, so I'm not worried. Y'all got that. Anyway, so you're going to create how Charles Feltman creates all those checklists for each component of trust. You're basically going to draw from all of those and choose 8 and make your own checklist for trust and adapt it any way you want. And then when you watch your movie, you'll choose 5 characters and you will create a rating or a grading system or a ranking of like, I mean, it's up to you, but something like 1 through 5, and to how, whether they, 5 meaning most trustworthy or 1 being least or 0. And you, on each element of trust that you chose, you'll rank your 5 characters from most trustworthy to least trustworthy. And then if someone changes, because most movies are about character development, you'll have to do in the write-up why this person has 2 rankings, how they started here and changed to here or something like that. Good news, there's no video for the last report.
Cool, cool.
Yay.
But there is a more writing to do for this one and you're going to create like a little table, like in Word you can make, or Google Docs, you can insert a table with your trust, the characters and all their elements of trust and add up their points. Or you can do it in an Excel spreadsheet. So whichever you feel most comfortable doing to create like a table look to your checklist and ranking for your characters.
Seems
Alright.
straightforward, I think.
How does that sound?
That was good.
Okay, and this meeting here, I think you have some questions about the trust book in this meeting. Is that true? You're already kind of starting to focus and you'll talk about which movies you're gonna do, I think. Is that one of my questions? Yeah, I planned right for once. Sorry, I just moved. I am in my new house and it is a disaster. In fact, my
It looks
husband
amazing.
is redoing the kitchen, so there's like, it's totally a mess. I can't live this way. I want my
Mhm.
bookcases back, but they're all upstairs against one wall. I think I hear the drill going. Maybe he's installing them now.
That's where we are. We're in
Hopefully.
DIY. Our house started, my daughter went to go take a shower Sunday, Mother's Day last week, right? Mother's Day. I don't even know what day it is. Anyways,
Yeah.
and it was like raining in our kitchen. So my husband had
Oh
to take a week off to try and there's like a hole the size of like half the kitchen in our kitchen.
Ashley,
No.
Yeah.
oh my God, I am feeling for you right now.
Oh, I'm
Seriously.
just glad that he had the time because he's a first sergeant and he's getting ready to retire. So he's just in and out like so much. So the fact that he could just take the time, which is huge because he was just gone even. So I'm just glad he's here. Because it's usually when he's gone and I'm like, why is last time he was gone,
Always
we had
when so
birds in our dryer and I was like, I cannot get the birds, and we have a second story. I was like, I'm terrified of heights, so I couldn't even climb. I'm terrified of birds. I'm like, they're just gonna
they
stay. I
went in
can't
through
do
the
it.
vent. They went in through the vent to build a
Yeah,
nest.
they like broke a hole because it was like graded, They were like desperate. It was like it was the worst. Like you could hear them in there, like, and I would just keep pushing the dryer and hoping that they would get tired of me, but they didn't. They were there to stay. And
We're like, thanks for keeping it warm and cozy.
yeah, and when my husband came home, he did like fix it all. So now every time there's, because the laundry room's right next to my daughter's room, every time she hears a bird, she's like, "It's in there! It's in there!" No,
Oh,
it's not.
no.
So we have a little PTSD from it too.
So we're in Zoom, huh? Did they do an update? Does it look different to you all?
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Mine looks really weird. Sorry, Ashley, I was listening.
Oh, you're fine.
I didn't mean to not
Maybe
do
it's your
recipes.
maybe it's your premium.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's going on. It has like a little person in a red door. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's weird. That's not on our side, is it?
Like
Yeah,
a little
no,
Little person in a red door.
for leaving the room. There's like a little click.
Mine
Leave.
just leave.
Got a little icon of a person walking through a door.
Mine just
Okay.
says leave.
You all have work to do. I'm gonna leave unless there's any other questions about the movie report at this point.
I don't think so.
I can always meet and talk about your movies. It's one of my favorite things, so I'm very nerdy about it. I own it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All
bye,
right. Bye.
Sarah.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Well,
Okay,
that was actually fun.
yeah, that was nice. Do we want to talk about the movie? I know that's like the last thing, but just because it's all fresh in our minds, do we
Sure.
want to talk about the movies we're gonna do?
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah,
that.
let's go backwards.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. I agree, actually.
I have mine up, so I'll go first.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
so Sarah picked The Avengers, Aaron Brockovich, The Devil Wears Prada, Miss Congeniality 2, The Mighty Ducks, and Pitch Perfect. And like, how do you even pick?
Seriously.
Those are good ones.
But I did pick The Avengers because my husband is home this week and I figured he would watch it with me. So, and when I was thinking about the Avengers and how she was talking about the list, I feel like it would be really easy to take like each hero and like rate them. And
Yeah.
I know it's a different one because this is the first one and we had to do like the years, but I know there's one where it's like Iron Man versus Captain America and you're like kind of pinned against them. That one would be perfect for the trust. So I don't know if that's the same one or not, but I don't know.
I'm sure she would let you change to it if you asked, if you wanted to.
I
Yeah.
would have to ask. Probably my husband would be like, which one is this? 'Cause they're all cute heroes doing their thing. That's all. Is Thor in this one?
Yeah.
So that was my pick.
Nice, I like it. I think that's a good pick.
I think the movie you're thinking of is Captain America Civil War.
Oh, okay.
But I still think she'd let you, like, if you asked.
Yeah.
It's like it's like superheroes. Same thing.
I was gonna say same
The same
category,
characters are in
right?
it.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
just because that's the one I put like on my list. So, because you had to like put the year and everything. So I'm sure I could message her and be like, what about this one? Because I feel
Yeah.
like both of those characters like go through a journey. Like,
For sure.
so
I have mine pulled up as well, so I can go next. So she approved A League of Their Own, Encanto, Legally Blonde, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I love all four of those movies. Um, so I really don't know which one I'm leaning, like which one I'm going to go for. Right now I'm kind of leaning towards The League of Their Own because that's the one I haven't seen in a while. But I'm also like, but like with the way she described it, it's like I could do that for Encanto right now just because it's fresh. but I don't know if it's like I want to take the opportunity to rewatch a movie. So
Right.
I'm kind of struggling.
I can go next. I have mine out finally. Um, I was deciding between two. I also did Miss Congeniality, but I did the first one. And then I also did iRobot, the movie with Will Smith. And I
Mm.
think I'm leaning more towards iRobot because, I mean, it's all about him not trusting the robots and trying to encourage people to be more human instead of relying on the robots. So I felt like, yeah, I would definitely go with distrust and trust and everything. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go towards that one, but I haven't fully decided yet.
Yeah, that one's a good one because
Yeah.
no spoilers, right? Have you guys seen it? You've seen it, right, everybody? Dana, what did
I
you
know, I
Come on, girl.
know.
Okay, never mind.
I-
Never mind.
I
was
also
like,
haven't seen it, but I don't care about spoilers.
Yeah, I
okay.
don't care either.
Well, in order to like the solution, it's been a really long time. He ends up having to trust the robot that
Yeah.
like he didn't trust in the beginning. Like it's
Yeah.
full
It's not
circle.
really a spoiler because they end up working together pretty early on in the movie. So, but yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
That's a good trust one.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that
thank
seems like a good one. Okay, so she said that I could do Blindside. Remember the Titans or Moneyball? And I think I'm gonna do Blindside because I feel like there's a lot of trust that has to happen in that movie, and a
Definitely.
lot of characters that all have to work together to have trust. So
That
I
one's
think like
a good one.
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
really
It
good
is.
one.
I think like ranking the 5 different people would be easier in that movie. Okay, perfect. I love that. I'm glad we talked about that first because I didn't have notes for it. Okay, so then let's go back up to the top. Videos from week 6. It says discuss one of the videos that connects to your experience. So I'm assuming just like your experience in life. But I can go first if nobody else is ready or if anybody else wants to start. Okay, so I did the one that says a study on praise and mindset. And it was like talking about how like when kids are praised, like, oh, you're really good at school, you do really good on tests, and then they always like opt out and choose the easier options. Whereas like kids are like, it's when you praise them differently, you're like, oh, you're doing a great job, like keep up the good work, they're more likely to choose the harder option. And I feel like this related to my life in sports because I feel like when somebody was like, oh, you're really good at scoring goals or you're really good at doing this, I like always got in my head and I was like, okay, now I can't do that. Like I'm not good at it anymore because I feel like I have so much pressure on me to be good at it that it just like makes me fold. And so I think when people are like, "Oh, you're doing great. Like you're a great team member. Keep up the good work. Like we enjoy having you here." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." Like there's nothing that like specifically I have to focus on to be good at because they said I was good at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um
I love that.
yeah, so that was my video.
I'll go after you because that was my video too. So I'll just kind of piggyback on you.
That was also
Perfect.
my video.
I was
So
saying we pick the same video like every week.
I know.
Um,
I'm different.
Yeah,
Yay!
somebody.
So I picked the same video and I had like a lot of the same like internal things from like playing sports and then right now like with my kids and they're super into sports. But something that super resonated with me with the kids who were like, "Oh, you're so smart," and that idea of this is the bar and that like what happens if I fall off of there? Like what happens if I try to do anything else and I am not as successful? Like am I not smart then? Like it just sets this impossible like standard that like nobody can be this like all the time, you know? And that just really super resonated with me and like with my kids too, that we should applaud effort, and I did, 'cause my daughter had to clean her room yesterday, so she came in my room last night. And I was like, I'm really proud of your effort today. And she was like, and I was like, just say thank you.
I love that.
Just appreciate it.
She's 11, so
Yeah. When she's older, she'll be like, "Oh my gosh."
Right. I get it. Well, yeah, I did the same video, so I'll go now. I really related to that because I felt like I related it more to self-talk. I feel like I used to have really negative self-talk. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I would just always talk about myself badly no matter what I did, and I could always do better. And it's kind of what Ashley was saying. Like I was setting the bar. I thought that I needed to meet a certain expectation, and then if I didn't, like it was just not worth it at all. So I felt like I kind of applied it more to myself than just like speaking it to other people. Like I need to speak positively to myself and say, no, this effort is good. It's making progress. Like it's encouraging you to do more things. So I agree with everything y'all said about it too. I thought it was a really good video.
that was good. That was, I feel like women too, in general, like we are so harsh on ourselves.
Yes, yes.
So
Yeah.
sorry.
You're all
Yeah,
good.
I think women can totally resonate to what you said, Sierra. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And I like how
I
it
think
was
after
like,
this,
sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say after this, I'll watch the video. It sounds so interesting.
Oh
Right.
yeah, it's a good one.
And then what were you gonna say, Tiana?
I don't know. It was there and then it was gone.
that is a
I was,
mood.
that's just been like the whole year. So
Yeah.
valid.
Hmm.
So I watched the five dysfunctions of a team. Um this one stuck out to me because like I said, mentioned I was a student leader, but I'm specifically more so like a group oriented or a team oriented student leader. So I work with others to like plan events and stuff. And I discovered I love like the team aspect, and like after college I want to like go on to advise some like student leaders as a team, just because I feel like there's a lot of good I can do. But the five dysfunctions were selfishness, no peer-to-peer accountability, the lack of commitment, fear of conflict, and then no trust. And like I feel like the no trust one is kind of the most like obvious, just because if you can't trust your like coworkers to get things done, you'll never be able to work together. And then the fear of conflict is one I see so often, just because like I like before like becoming a communication major, I was so scared of conflict, and really like becoming a comm major really helped me see that like conflict is such a good thing, and it can bring so many good things to light. Um and then a lack of not communication, commitment. So just the lack of wanting to be there, wanting to do it, because like if somebody doesn't want to do their job, you can tell in like the quality of what they're doing. And then the lack of no peer-to-peer accountability. It was just found that like yeah, people can see the top down accountability and they're just kind of like meh, and they feel like then they'll know they'll get in trouble no matter what. But like a peer-to-peer accountability really makes them feel more seen and like they have a place in the group. And then the selfishness, just like not looking out for the others, because it's like if you just get your task done and it's like that's the only task that gets done, then like that's nothing. And they talked about the way that like those steps you can like see those dysfunctions, and then how those in the opposite way build the team. And you have to like start with that foundation of trust, and then like work to have like conflict resolution skills, and like set expectations for each other. And the lack of commitment instead becomes like wanting to be there, wanting to do the job, and so on and so forth, just up. But I really liked the video.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds like a video.
Seems like it fit like perfectly with what you want to do for your career too. So
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds awesome.
Okay, awesome. So now we have the podcast from week 7, the checklist manifesto. Says share something about the podcast that impacted you positively or surprised you as new information. How does this connect to the Cynefin theory?
So this is my book. So I was not surprised by anything because I'm reading his book. But to circle it back to the Cynefin theory, I feel like his entire book and the idea of checklist is to keep you in that like simple, organized area of not falling off the cliff any which way, because if we have this list and we can just come back to the list. And so the latest chapter was like meeting with a pilot because he has all these lists that he's been going around and meeting with different like the builder people, but their lists are just too long and he needs something like life or death right now. Like, we don't have time for this. And pilots have hundreds of people that they are responsible for. So they have like a booklet and it's like 3 things on each page. And so that's kind of where he is right now. But these small little lists, they have to be reasonable, they have to be smart, they can't be like condescending, like the people who make the list who are like, I have no idea what this is, but make sure you check this. Like, it has to be like real and practical. And another thing I got from the book, I don't know, are we supposed to talk about our books this week?
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so.
No, yeah,
Okay.
not this week.
I will save that for a different time. That was really good though. So yeah, I wasn't really surprised because I'm reading the book, but
Everything you've said like the previous weeks too just makes so much more sense now. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
that definitely makes sense. But I think that I also felt like I saw the connection with the Cynefin theory. Like I feel like it showing like what is it called? Like the best practices. So I felt
Mhm.
like if you follow your checklist and your best practices, then everything will stay in the good and the organized. But if something's wrong or if something needs to be added to the checklist or something's not completely right, it can move into the chaos and that's where or go around the full circle and then that's where you come up with a new checklist or a new method of doing things, adding more steps or less steps, whatever it is. So I definitely saw the connection too with the Cynefin theory. And it was super interesting. I was kind of like, dang, maybe I should have picked that book. It was kind of interesting. It was cool.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna say about the Cynefin theory too, Sierra, because it's
Yeah.
just like I was like I was like every single part of the Cynefin theory, a checklist would just be so useful. And then so I listened to the wrong podcast at first. I listened to the one right above the Harvard Business Review. And then I was like, wait, and then I went to the right one. So I did listen to the right one. But when I listened to the first one, it started off with a story about the a surgery and it went wrong and they just so happened to be like, oh, let's bring some extra blood in the room just in case, because that was like on their checklist and that saved the life. And I was like, wow, that's so like I understand checklists are important, but like seeing that, like I read the transcript, but when I read that I was like, Jesus, now I'm like thinking of ways I could have checklists in my everyday life so that way I'm never unprepared.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it definitely made me realize how much checklists are good. Especially like at work, I use checklists so much. And then I'm like, why don't I do that in my regular life?
Literally.
But I just liked how much they like went over checklists and like how showed you how useful it is, especially like in the emergency room to have like that checklist and be like, okay, I did debrief everybody. I did make sure that this was all sanitized. I did make sure that I took care of the blood. Like, I just think that that helps somebody because when you're so like frazzled about stuff, you always have something to look to.
mhm.
And so I think that also relates to the Cynefin theory because, um, I mean, when things get out of hand and when like you don't know where you are or what you're doing or anything like that, you just have a checklist and it takes you back to being organized, and it takes you back to being like, oh, okay, now I'm on a path. Now I know where I want to go with this.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm so glad she put this unit in for those of us that didn't choose the checklist manifesto.
Right?
Because I'm like, wow, this is so interesting. So
Uh-huh.
I think
Like I kind of at first, honestly, I'm gonna be real honest. I picked it because it was the shortest one of pages, and I have 5 classes and 5 books, and I was
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
no,
Yes,
Brooke's
but
one
then
ma'am.
I
got
went back
harder.
and I read the like her video, and she's like, "Oh, it's medical," and I was like, "Ew." But now I'm like, it is so interesting. It's fascinating. I'm like, I'm reading it so quickly too. I'm like, okay, it's not so bad. Like, because it's always life or death, and like these silly little things, which is what I was kind of gonna say earlier. How she keeps saying like it's so important to say your name, is like we don't understand that when these people go into these operating rooms, they have never seen each other before in their lives, and they have our lives in their hands. And so just the simple thing of like, hey, I'm Ashley, and my job is to put her to sleep. You're like, oh, okay, Ashley. It's called an activation theory where it gives everyone in the room permission to do that communicating, which like you're like, hey, excuse me, stranger. Yeah, you're missing, the antibiotic or what. Like it's just I thought it was crazy interesting. So yeah.
Yeah, super interesting.
Do you want to pause real fast and restart?
That's what I was just gonna
I'm
ask.
sorry.
No,
I just
you're
hit the
okay.
timer, so
It's perfect. Okay, well, I'll come back in.
All right.
See you soon.